Shalom, it's Kanai from GMS Gary, Indiana. First, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Karkodash. Right, double honors to our elders in GMS who rule well. All right, peace and blessings to those of you teaching the gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom. All right, I'm going to start off here. This is when, all right, the tempter, the devil tried to tempt our Lord, you know what I'm saying? Our Lord Yahweh Shai, in the wilderness, when he was fasting, 40 days and 40 nights. So I'm going to just go straight to it. It says, Matthew 4, verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. All right. All right, now let's go to John, St. John 6. All right, and it will start at 48. Yahweh Shai speaking here. It says, I am the bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. All right, this is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. So the Lord is giving a difference, you know what I'm saying, of the types of bread. Like verse 49 says, your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. All right, so he's not talking about the literal bread. Well, in this verse, he's talking about the literal bread that they did eat. But he said now they are dead. But he said if anybody eat the bread that he's talking about, representing himself, he says, like verse 48 says, it says, I am that bread of life. All right, Yahweh Shai is the bread that verse 50 is talking about also. It says, this is the bread which cometh down from heaven, all right, that a man may eat thereof and not die. All right, so if you eat this bread, you shall never die. All right, because Yahweh Shai is the word, man. All right, so, what I'm saying? Yahweh Shai is the bread of life. All right, he is the word of life. So if you follow, Yahweh Shai's example and follow his, follow the law of the Lord, man, you shall never die, man, because, the Lord shall give you immortality, man, All right, in verse 51, it says, I am the living bread which came down from heaven. All right, because Yahweh Shai was sent here on a mission, man, to save the nation of Israel, the elect of the nation of Israel. It says, I am the living bread which came down from heaven. All right, if any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. All right, and Yahushua did that when he was crucified, man. All right, let's skip down to 57. It says, as the living Father hath sent me, all right, I live by the Father. So he that eateth me, all right, speaking of the word, you know, all right, which is the Bible, all right, KJV, from you know, cover to cover, man, from Genesis to the Apocrypha all the way down to Revelations, you know. It says, as the living Father hath sent me, and I live by the Father, so he that eateth me, even he shall live by me. This is that bread which came down from heaven, not as your fathers did eat manna, and are dead. He that eateth of this bread shall live forever. All right, hey, because, you know, hey, Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying, is our mediator. All right, you know that he's the one that helps plead to the Lord for us, man, on our behalf. All right, that if we make it to the kingdom of heaven or not, you know. All right, if we live by his words, then we shall live. But if a man reject the word of the Lord, if the man keeps not the commandments of the Lord, you know, if the Lord does, if we follow not our Lord Yahweh Shai, then we don't enter into the kingdom of heaven, man. You know. So we got to make sure that we're consuming the Lord's word, the Lord's bread, following after the Lord's way, following after his commandments, man. You know, and not any other, man. All right, so let's go to Luke 4. Oh, Salakia. All right, Luke 4. And yeah, we'll start at verse 4 again. It says, and Yahushua answered him, saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of Yahweh. All right. and the point of Yahushua is saying this is so that, you know, we follow after the Lord's word, man. Like I said, not after another. All right, not after what, you know, the devil has to say. No, we don't follow the devil's commands. And that's why the Lord did not pick up that stone and command that it be bread. Hey, that's not what that's not what the Lord said to do, man. All right, that's something Satan tried to get him to do. You know, it says the devil, verse 3. It says and the devil said unto him, if thou be the son of Yahweh, command this stone that it be made bread. And again, Yahushua answered him, saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of Yahweh. And the devil, taking him up into an high mountain, shewed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will, I give it. It says, if thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine. See, that was the point. The devil was trying to get our Lord to worship him. All right. And if the devil was trying to get our Lord to worship him, well, what do you think the devil's trying to do to us? He's trying to have us worship him as well, as followers of the Lord, man. And we can't have that. Hey, our Lord Yahweh Shai didn't fold, so neither should we. All right, we got to stand stiffly, for the word of the Lord, man. There ain't no compromising, man. All right? We don't compromise for Satan, man. All right? Verse 8, it says, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto him, get thee behind me, Satan. All right, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. All right? That's the point. We worship the Lord our God only. We serve him only. All right? Like we said, ain't no compromising, man. All right? Yahweh Shai didn't compromise. All right? He followed the Lord to the very end. All right? Because the Lord came not to do his own will. He came to do the will of the Father, man. And that's what we are to do. All right, I hope this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kakodash. Shalom.